Alright guys, welcome back to another Mask Momentum video here. Peter, back at it, bro. We're watching the finals of the AGE February Open here. Did like, the quarterfinals, just recorded the quarterfinals, gonna do the finals now. Went over the semifinals of being like basically a non-game because they just put the Teklo's worst matchup in the game on camera, which kind of surprised we didn't just see the other side of top 8, but it is what it is, right? You wanted to see the Teklo make its run. Like, Teklo cannot win that game, but it's perfectly fine. Now we have Dromai versus Bravo, which is just, a classic game from a long time, just like Guardian versus Illusionist here, which is pretty spicy. Charles Dunn coming into the AGE Open, he won the LL one, and he's coming back for more. And he's playing Bravo. He had a very interesting list from this time. He's playing like dedicated, like fatigue Bravo, bro. Like fatigue. This thing had like Rampart. Also, don't get confused. This game, Dromai puts his like graveyard behind his deck and then his banish in front of his deck, and also pitches his card sideways. So don't worry about it. If you get confused, just like no, that's how like he just plays the game. But he's playing like fatigue. Like he's running AB2 into this matchup. He has 9 staunch in his deck, 9 staunch response. He has hold the line. He has 9 staunch, hold the line. Was playing Titan's Fist plus Rampart into like almost every single matchup as well. So it's like such a weird deck because I didn't expect. I've seen so many like Michael Fang Bravo list, Michael Hamilton just playing these like stock 70 cards in Bravo, and then they're playing like Tunic to like for like being more aggressive in mid-range E, which is like cool and all, but then like I'm just walking around watching games in between my games because it can last like 10 minutes if you play at a reasonable pace and you don't have to stack somebody. But I'm just like, I walk around and I just see this list from Charles Dunn playing, because like you didn't even have to play fast to like watch him play these rounds. Like almost all of his rounds were going like close to time and just fatiguing everybody, and I was just like, oh my god, this game is just his deck is just crazy. I like decks like this though. Like this is the this is what I wanted to see. I wanted to see some like innovative, like cool decks coming into this meta. I think like seeing like a decent amount of Warrior was like pretty cool going into this as well. Like surely this deck just like absolutely shits on like other Guardian mirrors and stuff like that. So I saw him like fatigue a Victor. Like the Victor just had like, I think he had like 20 less cards than Charles at the end of the game, and I was like, oh my god. I don't know if the Victor knew he was playing fatigue, but he got fatigued, bro. I don't even know if Victor's good against dedicated fatigue lists of Guardian. I don't know. Like it's just, dude, it was crazy. I ain't gonna lie, watching Charles Dunn, but he's playing against Dromai, which is like, I would say if you're thinking about purely fatiguing a deck like with Bravo, like Dromai is decently hard to like purely fatigue if the Dromai knows what they're doing, right? You're going to win a significant amount of games just because you're just good at. Oh, and this is like the thing with the Charles list, because you have so many defense reactions and so many cards that aren't actually poppers that you do have to pitch a significant one of those to the bottom, and you're just gonna kill an Ashwing and pass. Doesn't even get to kill the doesn't have like double 3 cost to kill the actual big dragon, just has to kill an Ashwing here, which kind of feels bad, but it isn't too terribly bad, I guess. I did love playing fatigue Oldhim into Dromai, and this just feels the same way as it is back then. But can't wait to see like more innovative decks than we've seen in the past. I think this meta is super wide open. Can't wait for someone just to like cook some absolute deck that just is so different than everything else, right? Saw so many different like decks in like top 16 and top 8 of this tournament exactly, and I can't wait to see if the meta converges. I think like KO looks really good at the start, but it doesn't have like an insane conversion rate. Decks like pure aggro like is a decent amount aggro, like mid-range kind of a deck, but I think the sequencing is actually pretty hard with that deck, so I think it's going to take some time for people to sequence correctly. I think I see a lot of people just trying to pick it up and being like, oh, it's brain dead, but the sequencing is pretty like is decently hard in aggro decks, and to not just like lose yourself the game. It's like the same Fi theory to where like Fi is brain dead, but if you mess sequence with Fi, you would lose like 5 damage, and if you did that like multiple times throughout the game, you would actually just lose the game solely off of doing that. So it does come in with a CNC as well here. Looks like he has I know he has a staunch response in his arsenal here. So let's see if he uses Crown to get rid of the staunch, so he doesn't have to give his opponent multiple cards, because he has to kill this Uvia here, right? Like that's like the initial like fatigue respect that you have to do, is immediately use Anothos to kill this Uvia, and just give the Dromai the amount of respect as it deserves here, right? So it's just gonna take 4, block this here, so does give it the respect it deserves here. Use Anothos, obviously killing that Uvia, which is pretty good. What Dromai needs to do to win this game, needs to basically either stack, so he has Mage Master boots, right? So he can make it so you can Mage Master, play the blue aura that makes it so the next thing the first illusion stack doesn't have Go Again. Doesn't have Phantasm, not Go Again. Doesn't have Phantasm, and then you can swing with like a huge ghostly touch at the end, and like basically the math is like 12. It's like 12 damage, which is like the average like 4 block 3 hand, and then whatever life total your opponent's at, and if ghostly touch is higher than that, then you win the game. That is something that you can do. And then here we're looking at Bravo effect, and then swinging 6 at Corniant, the Ash Winger there. It's not really okay, so sending that and then it's to kill it, to give him the extra Ash. But does play the Dust Cavern. I know the Dust Cavern is the Chromai one, so it can't get popped, so you have 2 action points. Something that I do see is like Charles's deck does have a significant amount of has like almost an even split, I would say, of like, I don't know the exact number, it looks like a decently even split of like non-6s and 6s, and that's cool and all, but with the Chromai Dust, getting the extra action point, the Chromai can't get popped, so it's just like free 3 damage, or it takes a non-attack from Charles, and then has the extra action point. So the first one, so it has to pop the first one, has to have a second pop for the second one, as well. Ooh, this is a good turn from Grant here. Has the Miragi into the Chromai with the Chromai Dust. So I come with the Miragi here because it's going to use the Miragi to swing for 2, can't be popped. And then the Chromai can't be popped either, so we can swing another 3. Have 2 action points. Uses Furnace to go to 2 resources, and then swings is 3 of a kind, bro. Is 3 of the Caverns. Don't really want this to hit either, because so you have to swing Anothos, killing Chromai or Miragi here. It's probably going to be kill Chromai, just because like with the dust, it makes it like super annoying. But I know that they have three of the Chromite dust, right? So you could either play out all 3 of the Chromite dust, and then you can play all 3 of the Chromite dust, and then play multiple Chromites in the same turn. Or you could play like how Grant's playing it here, to replay the Chromite dust the first second that you get the Chrome. Like, I think this is just like, I don't know if you're supposed to always play it. Like, if you didn't have the Miragi, I don't think you would. I don't think you would play it like that. But because he does, it's just like super good. Also, he has an additional action point here. So, oh my god. Oh my. Look at this, dude. Has just, he has to deal with 3 threats here, right? Like, he needs E-Strike to like deal with it, but it looks like he has E-Strike in his hand and not his arsenal. You would have to have E-Strike in his arsenal to double kill something. Oh, does. Okay, he does have it. He does have it. Okay, puts the other E-Strike to the bottom. So, kills the Miragi. I want to see, does he kill the... I think you have to kill the Chromite here. I think Chromite is the hard... Yeah, I think Chromite is the one you have to kill here. But, well, can only kill 2, not the 3rd, right? So... I think there was a little confusion of like the card that he put on the bottom from the judge kind of asked him. So sometimes it's decently hard to see. Oh, has another Chromite just to follow this up as well, like putting so much pressure on early. Has 5 Ashwings as well, which don't matter like so much, but it is decently hard, right? So this is 3, can't be popped. Looks like he has 1 defense reaction in his hand and some 6s, so it's no block with 1/6 on this Ashwing. It's going to 4. The Ghostly Touch is going to go to 1 here. It's going to come with the dust up as well. Use that defense reaction, perfect here. While you keep it, it's going to put the non-6 to the bottom. Come make another Ash and Arsenal here. See if Charles kills a... Okay, values the Chromite over the Passing Mirage, which is interesting. It kind of makes sense, right? Because the Chromite demands 2 poppers versus you can always just take whatever the first dragon is with the Passing Mirage first, right? So this Azrael doesn't matter too much because he's going to use Tunic to block the AB, surely. And then you can either take 2 or block 2 here. Okay, so decided going to take the 2 here because it can't be popped here because of that. Then it's looking at Ravenous Travel coming in for 4. Okay, no block 3, you take 1 from this Rabble. Shows the... has a second Rabble here. That's pretty good. Just gonna, okay, so it's just like snap take the 4 here as well from this Rabble, and then it gets to finish it with a dust up here. So make Charles block with 1 more card here as well, because you pretty much know that he's just going to hammer this passing as well. So gets to take an extra card out of his deck. I've seen a lot of the time to where Dromai can like reverse fatigue the Guardian because you make so many of these Ashwings. And that was a 4 attack and you only blocked 3 as well. So takes 1 and does the Ashwing. So kills the passing with the hammer like usual. Is in an arsenal. The last card in his hand. Let's see where we go from here. Still has the 5 Ashwings plus the Azvalai here. Looks like he has... Oh, Oasis Sink Below, E-Strike, maybe a 6 in his hand. It's 3, he does have a lot of non-6s in his deck because he's playing more of a dedicated fatigue version. Is not super heavy on the 6 powers here. Okay, it looks like he has at least one. Okay, also has Remembrance in his arsenal. So oh, it's actually gonna pitch the Dominia here. Damn, if he just like somehow casted that this turn, it'd be so good because he only has 1 popper in his hand, and then he could just take the singular popper and then basically go free with all the dragons in his on the field. Basically do at least like 7-8 damage just from the dragons. But he's gonna take a more conservative approach, right? He has multiple dragons on the field, so has the Azalite. He's gonna make the Kyloria as well. He's gonna come in with CNC here, which Charles does just have 4 reds in his hand, and they're also pretty awkward, right? Because it's just like Oasis defense reaction double red. Has the E-Strike here. Okay, is it gonna play the Remembrance from Arsenal? So the CNC's not gonna get like too much value, I guess you could say. It's gonna play triple blue back in to the Bravo deck. Looked like he drew a couple hands that were like pretty red heavy, but it is just looks like he has a lot of the non-6s in his deck. So just shuffle 3 more 6s back into his deck with the Remembrance, which is good. He's playing either 2 or 3 Remembrance in his list as well. So looks like he's this Oasis. He's gonna cast this Oasis, pitching Sink Below, and so basically block 5, take 1, because he's gonna block for 4 and gain a life, and then he's gonna lose a life. So he's basically gonna take 1. Is the math that he's trying to do, and he's just can't swing with the Anothos because it's double red. So he is just gonna pass. Let's put the E-Strike in the Arsenal pass. Looks like he drew 2. Okay, has 2 poppers in his hand, and then 2 non-poppers with that Staunch and Fate Piercing. Tries to play one of the cards, decides to not. Charles lets him take it back. They're also playing at like 10, 11 o'clock at night. I remember because I think I left at like 8:30 p.m. to drive like basically 4 hours back to Vegas, and they were starting top 8 at the time I was leaving, and then I just come back to I remember we stopped. I think I like took a nap in the back seat, and then I took a nap, and then we played. I watched like the Teklo just get eviscerated in the semifinals, and I was like, why is this on stream? And then come back to watch this finals game as well. So. Okay, so does pop the thing, so he's gonna get double burn them all. So that's the attack action Buckness thing on the bottom is just another copy of Burn Them All here. So he has to banish 2 things, 1 for each Burn Them All. Actually decides to keep the defense reaction in his hand just to not overpitch, and then draws back up. So now he has 3 poppers in his hand plus the defense reaction. So something that is pretty interesting is like when Dromai plays the non-dragon cards, that like the Rabbles and the Dust Ups and stuff like that, you really do want like the non-6s to block those, and then filter out the non-6s, and then have the 6s like for second cycle as well. You kind of want to hide the non-6s and then pitch enough 6s for second cycle to like pop extra things as well. So he's going to use the Mage Master Boots here. He's going to play a blue aura. It's basically giving out the end game scenario to where you just you get to swing the Ghostly Touch, because it doesn't look like Charles is playing it very uniquely to where you can't he's not gonna let him pop a lot of the stuff unless it just like ends the turn, and he's just hammering and hammering and hammering the board. Grant is also playing it pretty disciplined here as well, to where he's playing dragons and not swinging with them and then passing a lot of the time, which forces then like Charles also missed a couple hammer swings this game because he had like really like decently awkward hands, like the double red hand as well. And then he's playing this Themi as well, which is just like basically another dragon, but makes it so it is somewhat hard. He's gonna take this Tunic from Charles because he wants to use the value of, you know, there's 4 arcane coming at him, so he wants to use the Tunic plus 1 blue as well, and he can't do it if Themi's on the field, so just did a response here. So what else Grant can do on this turn? Like, committed to play this, so does have to swing because it's going to be a non-pop on one of them as well. So is block 1 AB and then block 1 arcane and then take the second one from the Burn Them All triggers. Okay, is there a block? There's a block 3 with the 6 power here. Let's see what Grant wants to do after this. Okay, is just gonna come in with an Ashwing here. So it's gonna pop and end his turn. Okay, just has a defense direction in his hand and make an Ash. And then he has to banish 4 cards now. 2 for each of these Burn Them Alls. Alright, back to Dun's turn. This one is, okay, is pitching the defense reaction away finally. He's gonna kill him. He's gonna kill the Aurum. Draw back up to 4. Okay, he's gonna play Red Tome here. Plays Red Tome, has to pitch 2 of these cards from his hand. Still has that Arsenal card here, and then has multiple others. Kind of used that Mage Master Boots like pretty preemptively. I would say, not like he like has the board and allowed him to like pitch for more stuff, but it's not like That wasn't the greatest Mage Master activation, I'm gonna be honest with you. I wonder if you should have saved it for at least later, because this game's gonna go super long. At one point, that Ghostly Touch can go, the Ghostly Touch can go like a significant amount, right? Like, I've seen Ghostly Touches in like the third, like almost at 30 before. Just trying to get back to being able to like Mage Master keep a like a non-pop for the Ghostly Touch eventually into the game. It doesn't have that value currently now. He's running in a room on his space, plays a Kyloria. Done laughing. There's so many dragons on the board, you know? I wonder going into this if he thought that he can, if he could fatigue Dromai as Bravo, like a natural way, right? I wonder if he thinks like this, because he's playing like Fatigue Bravo, right? So little less 6 powers, not aggressive. I see a lot of like, I see a lot of Bravo players just literally trying to kill Dromai at this point, and then like popping to, really only popping to like buy them time and like to play a 3-card hand or a 4-card hand if they have a 5-card, to like go again, just sending it all at Dromai instead. But filtering 2 non-blocks out here to kill the passing as well. Okay, he's gonna put the Banish Stone just outside because he just needs room to play everything. So looks like he's okay. He has Miragi as well. So the first thing is gonna be he's finally gonna get the value of these burn them all, right? Because he wasn't swinging with the dragons earlier because he just wanted to get them to get popped to just have this massive board. This is the time to where it's a little bit sus because you know, obviously Bravo has like a significant density of 6 powers, but sometimes you can draw hands that, you know, maybe only have 1 popper, you know, has a Chromai, maybe gets another action point another way, you know, draws that the 4-cost one takes the only popper from your hand, you just like die on the spot. Like that's when like this big board really comes into play, to where currently the Bravo player has enough time to, you know, kill things 1 by 1, maybe 2 in 1 turn, maybe eventually in the future, right? Because it has an E-Strike, you know, in Arsenal currently can kill this Miragi plus another dragon if he wants to, or he could keep it to, you know, kill a Chromai and a Miragi on the same turn or something like that, and like thin the board, can like, you know, eventually pop these dragons 1 by 1, and swing, you know, pop, swing a hammer, you know, clear 2 things from his opponent's board. But honestly, it is a little wary here, because we're getting to that point to where, you know, this is coming to 4, it can't be popped, right? Like, unless he wants to give his opponent another card, he kind of has to double walk here. Okay, he takes 2 Arcane. He's gonna send just an Ashwing to get murdered by a pop, and then surely we're just gonna go to the next turn, swing 4 into this Miragi with the Anothos, and he said banish 8 cards. I could see one of these. I see him not keep both of them here and just keep one of them, because surely the Dromai is also playing Remembrance, so he wants to keep like a couple cards, like 3 Chromai or like 3 Miragi, and like keep those, and he's trying to get rid of, like, there's a lot of fluff, right? Like, all the attacks are kind of fluff that you can always get rid of. And then, like, a lot of the other dragons that you don't need. Tome you really don't need either, so you can get rid of that. So it does have 8 of the fluff. His actual discard looks pretty low now. It looks like it's just, like, Chromite and Miragi and, like, some blues in there. It does need a draw up. Let's see where else we go. Does draw another Miragi here. Has the non-block on the first one. It's gonna block this arcane here. So blocks the arcane here, because he has the hold line. Hold line can't really do anything here as well. Starting with the Kyloria as well. Done thinking here, right? Because he has to. Okay, he's just actually going to take the 4. You know, let his opponent draw the card here. Has 3 cards in his hand. It looks like he has like a dust up, at least 1 more dragon, and then whatever the card he has in his arsenal. Okay, he's now going to play the E-Strike with Gogan. I assume he just has he's just thinking about what card he wants to put on the bottom here. Do you put like the Uvia, and then you can play like the Themai from your hand as like literally just another dragon, or just play the Dust Up at the. You go E-Strike into Dust Up here is like not a terrible line as well, but you can also go E-Strike into play a Themai and just like swing at random, like swing Ashwing to get a popper out. So block 3, take 2 here. See what else he wants to do here. Grant thinking Charles leaking a decent amount of damage on this turn as well. For 6 to 4, and then he's gonna take an additional 2. He's at 13. The Ghostly Touch like end game scenario like gets more real every single time, but he's not popping like any significant amount. He's gonna use Flame Scale here, and is going to play Themai. And he's gonna come in with an Ashwing. He's gonna take 1 from the Ashwing. He's gonna just keep doing it. Take all these Ashwings here, and then we just swung with the Kyloria. Is Grant going to swing with the bigger ones here? Because you can just swing with the like a Themai first. Takes 3. Is gonna come with the other one. He's gonna AB1, block 1 here, go to 1. And then he's gonna come in with the last one. Then he's gonna extend his hand. Does have double sigil in his hands. Can't cast it because of that. can't cast it because of those semis. Also doesn't have a popper in his 4-card hand, so literally can't stop what his opponent's doing. So didn't even need to have like Chromite to like check if his opponent doesn't have double popper. But you know, congrats to the finalists here. Dromai getting the victory here. It's pretty interesting. That game I think was like a decent anomaly to where Charles was just notoriously drawing like reds for the beginning of the game and couldn't have a decent start to the game. The Dromai start was pretty good, and then had like this turn he's like having to give up like double burn them all if he has poppers, right? Like he's gonna basically have to give up double burn them all. Maybe go to like 1, maybe go to 0, depending on like if he wants to keep like his graveyard like density a little bit higher, and then still has like this huge board, and it's just like the inevitability of like either killing with this board or Charles like playing enough turns and kills everything, right? So has like, you know, 8 Ash Wings here, which is going to take a is going to take at least a popper most of the time, but you know, a little unfortunate, but it was a pretty good game here as well. So I'll see you guys in the next episode going over another top 8. See you guys.